Millennials are realizing this. When you arrive at six figures, it's not what we thought of back in the 90s, early 2000s growing up. 100K was it. 100K meant something in our bones and our soul. I remember talking to the guidance counselor, talking to friends. We're going to make six figures one day. We're going to have it all. We're going to do it. And then you arrive at six figures in 2023, and if you live in the city, you realize it is just enough to get by. And when you think about having kids, this is what me and my wife are thinking about. We're 35 and 36 years old. So if we want to have kids, we got to get after this pretty soon. But
just to cut in, he's not tripping. I used to think it was like the pinnacle, you know? I mean, honestly, I just wanted to do something like this for a living, or like skateboarding or something kind of creative, you know? Just be out there, just kind of making money off of, you know, having fun. But yeah, it's true. It's kind of funny, actually.
she has a great job. I have a great job. We both work 60 hours a week with our side hustles included. And I make six figures. But if my wife were to quit her job and we had a kid and stayed home, I wouldn't be able to afford the kid, our life, and the house. So we're having to make these decisions. But then we think, well, if my wife keeps working, takes a little time off, we'll plan for that. But then if we're going to have daycare, I'm seeing some of the daycare prices I would have never imagined, let alone thinking of the crib and the monitor and all this kind of stuff. But I think a lot of millennials are probably having the same conversation, me and my.
Yeah, whenever I have a kid, no diapers, nothing. Just tile floor, I'll mop it up. Kid could come snuggle with me, the little Brussels sprout, little Guggenheimer up in the bed with us. You gotta cut corners around here. Anyway, that's what I was thinking.
My wife are having, where it's kind of sad to have to decide of, we're on a roll. We're doing great for our savings, investing, and career. We want to bring a kid along, but it's like, we're like, are we going to be able to do it all?
My big concern is, here's a comment, right? I'm not going to put all the negative one, but I got a lot of nasty just, fuck you, dude. You're rich. Just kind of crazy. And I'm like, whoa, dude, like, I wish I was rich. I don't mean rich for vanity either. I just mean just practicality, you know, living in America, you know, or anywhere in the West, basically. We've been priced out, regular people. I've been making 50 to 70 grand for the last 10 years. And I always had to have roommates, you know. I even at one point, because I'm so crazy, I want to own my own business, I rented out my room. I slept on my own couch in my own house so that I could work a little less. Dude, at 33, I did this. 32. You know, some people would call that a loser. You know, so now I'm like, oh, I've reached, you know, doing this for a living. And I was like, I'm going to make 100K. And then it's like, fuck you. Anyways, this is a really important comment here. Set the tone. Because I do care about people. And this is affecting everybody here. He goes, you know, I've watched a bunch of your videos and I can't tell what side you are on. On one hand, you are a hard worker, in your words. No clue what you do for six figures, but you say you work hard. Yeah, basically I do YouTube, okay? Consulting stuff. I'm now selling t-shirts, although I'm not the best businessman. I should have been selling these a year ago. I just put them out like a week or two ago. Okay, I have like a Patreon, okay? I'm doing these brand deals. I'm working with small businesses, okay? So yeah, like maybe right now it might not seem like I'm working that hard. And to be fair, I'm not, compared to the last decade of my life where I had to work 2 jobs and then come and do this for free, or all my skateboarding content that I've been doing my whole life with this camera. I used to, real quick, this is kind of funny. I have a box full of these. I got a box full of these, but these are from tapes. I used to film on tapes. Right here, Nose Grind 180, this is 2005. Okay. This is my boy Elon. It's probably 2006. You know, I've been putting out content a long time for free. You know, this job that I'm doing now wasn't just like, yeah, you start tomorrow, $25 an hour, and then you work your way up to 100 grand a year. How's that sound, Junior? That's really not how it works. But this guy's comment's important here. So, you know, work can be mental and physical, and both, for the most part, if you really want to make it. He goes, okay, so you say you work hard, so I'll agree with your mindset. The only way to make it right now is to work hard. So I do, and I don't stop. I save every penny, but we are still struggling. He goes, blue-collar tradesman working 3 jobs. One's even in government. Don't even bother asking me the hours because I cannot put numbers on it. But it is negatively affecting my body and not sustainable long-term. Yeah, That's not cool. You shouldn't have to do that. I agree. On that same side, he goes, you seem to be okay with all of this, like it was always reality. No, I'm not cool with it. It's not cool at all. I don't like it. And I don't think it's sustainable. We'll get to that. He goes, I'm not sure, man. Everyone is treading their own water, but I cannot see how you struggle with what you make and be empathetic to people busting their balls. Oh my God, dude. It's cool. It's a perspective. I get it. You just come on here, you see me. You don't know my life. I don't know your life. You know what I mean? You don't know. I have no idea. He goes, respect for the old car and the working mindset, but humans need to sleep too. Okay, so this all started because I said that I'm not going to do car payments because it's just not practical. I'd rather drive a old car that I got for $10,000, call it a day, cheap insurance, and I said I'm making six figures now. And by six figures I meant $100K. After taxes around there. All right? So yes, $100K I used to think was like the pinnacle. I should be driving a really cool car, or not like a 40-year-old car that I got for $9,000. You get my point? And yeah, how long do we sustain this is my point, because $100K has become the new kind of benchmark to be comfortable. And I am comfortable. But here's what I struggle with. The fact that everybody in my life, my cousin dangling from buildings, putting in windows, and then he has to have a second job on the weekends. Or my best friend, basically my brother with his wife and his kid, who's got to work 60, 70 hours a week as a machinist. How long could he do that for? How long? And then how long do I have to sustain making this money is the whole fucking point of why I'm saying I keep my bills so low. Okay? All right, cool. Now, we're really going to dig here because I got roasted. I'm not going to put the negative ones in here, but I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, good God. Like, I've just been rich my whole life. I'm like, chill out, you know? If that was the case, I would tell you. Okay. This one goes, according to Google, 15 to 18% of U.S. adults earn more than $100,000 a year. Okay, so basically, call it 80, 85% of the population. This is kind of the new benchmark is what I'm trying to say. All right, you would think 70 grand a year is enough. I would hope so, but let's hear it from this guy. Just watch how he says this. Just real quick, pay attention.
Voting for Donald Trump because in 2017, 2018, I only make 70 grand a year. I was way better off. I have student debt. I make 70 grand a year. I thought that was going to get forgiven. That's
okay. Student debt aside, whatever. The point is you should be cool making 70 grand a year. Anybody in here agree with that? I'm fine making 50 grand a year doing this. I'm totally cool with that. The only problem is I'm probably going to be living check to check. And I don't have car payments. I don't have these huge bills. I have I have the basics. I do live in South Florida. Live in a townhome. I have the basics. And I would need a minimum 50 grand a year. And that's like paycheck to paycheck. God forbid I need to fix anything. Or a hiccup happens. Oh, good luck. So yeah, I do care. I do, because I don't want to have to hold this up myself, and I'm actually considering leaving America or going somewhere in the middle of nowhere. We'll get to that point though. $100,000 a year salary can be enough to live comfortably in most parts of the United States, but it depends on several factors. Yeah, if you're a single cat, you should be fine. Living in San Francisco, California, New York, good luck with that. But in my personal opinion, you hear about these people making six figures living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Unless you got a family, that's on you, Big Daddy. And I come on here and I'm preaching. I'm like, yeah. And it's because I'm trying to say, hey, I'm on the side of the field where it's keep your bills low. Don't get fancy here. I'm not saying don't treat yourself. That's just how I look at life. You can do whatever you want. All right? But I'm not going to get caught getting my bills all the way to the fucking moon. All right, and then lose my job, which has happened before. Anyways, this is the side of people leaving America. and then we'll get into like other options after this. But this is something I've really been considering here.
Left America, and I'm never coming back. This should be interesting.
The reasons why I chose to leave America, and I don't plan on returning anytime soon. Right now, we are in Thailand.
Hey,
Pattaya to be Pacific, because the quality of life in America is absolutely abysmal now. You cannot live in America. Inflation is way too high. From the state I'm from, New Jersey, rent runs you, especially northern New Jersey, rent is going to be plus $2,000. Now let's think about that for a second. The median income in America is about $45,000 to $50,000 a year. Now, how can people afford to spend half of their annual income? We're not even including taxes yet. They're spending half of their annual income in rent. And then we're not even factoring in food, electricity.
yeah, it gets crazy. I was paying $2,600 a month for my place in Phoenix, and during the summer months, because obviously you got to run your AC or else you'll melt to death when it's 120 degrees for 10, 15 days in a row. Your monthly bill on utilities was $500 plus for a couple of months on top of the $2,600. And that doesn't count the car payments and the gas and the, like what he's saying, all the other amenities that you spend. And bro, we're not going outside balling at restaurants because
It can add up quick. You guys know the math. Like, just to break it down, just my basic house, I have no car payment, just my basic bills, I'm looking at $35,000. $35,000 a year, not including food. Just basic, regular life bills. I've gotten rid of everything else that I don't need. Okay? So, that's what I'm trying to say here. God forbid there's a hiccup. Let's not forget about having any fun or food or sex. Okay, I'm not saying I pay for sex. I'm just saying women cost a lot. All right? And I don't have a woman problem. I have a girlfriend. Okay? So that's my choice. I want a family. God forbid I want a kid. Good luck with that. But this is kind of what I said here, right here. This guy goes, I make six figures and drive a 30-year-old Toyota Corolla. I sleep well at night. Well, fuck you, dude, asshole. This is all I'm saying. Is I'm like, this is like, to me, this is normal. Like, I'm just trying to be, call it an inspiration. But here's one of those nasty comments right here. This one was not as bad as most of them, but this guy goes, funny you flaunt six figures. It's like, okay, how do you make that money? By telling people day in and day out their lives suck, despite the fact that most of the suckage has been a part of adult life for decades. This is a grift. Loser. Your uncle's gay. It's like, what, dude? I never said your life sucked at all. I'm just saying that if you're making $100,000 a year, you should be able to afford a house. I typed it in. It goes, well, you could afford a $350 home. A $350,000 house. No, you can't. Every house costs $400,000. So you can't even do that with $100,000.